It is a pleasure to have you right here on Maisha television. And this is Maisha Prime News. My name is Rida Chebet Kering. Just to remind you, there's an upcoming event, Shima Awards 2021. To apply, visit the website www.shimaawards.co.ke. And we kick off with a story that is making headlines currently in the country. President Uhuru Kenyatta delivered his second last State of the Nation address on 30th November as dictated by the Constitution of Kenya. The head of state brought the country up to speed with his administration's obligation commitments as provided
Deputy
for
President
in
William Ruto on Monday met and engaged Nairobi women aspiring for elective seats.
His address comes
accompanied
at a time
by a
when the
brigade of
country is
UDL leaders while addressing hundreds of women aspirants at his official residence in Karen. They went ahead to popularize the bottom-up economic model and drum up support for Ruto's presidential bid.
The Constitution through the Building Bridges Initiative BBI. Antonio Sundua compiled comprehensive details on what transpired at the Parliament.
His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta arrived at Parliament buildings in Nairobi City County to deliver his 8th State of the Nation address to a joint sitting of the bicameral Parliament in line with Article 132 of the Constitution of Kenya on Tuesday, 30th November. President Kenyatta inspected a guard of honor and later escorted by Senate Speaker Ken Lusaka and National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi to the National Assembly chambers.
Your Excellency, Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta, CGH, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defense Forces, the Honorable Speaker of the Senate, Right Honorable Senator Kenneth Lusaka, EGH, Honourable Members of Parliament, Article 132, Clause 1 of the Constitution of Kenya requires the President to address a special sitting of Parliament once every year and at any other time. Further, Article 132, Clause 1, Paragraph C requires the President once every year report in an address to the nation on measures taken and progress achieved in the realization of our national values.
Speaker Muturi recognized Deputy President William Ruto, CJ Martha Koome, Raila Odinga, Kalonzo, Mudavadi, and Governor Martin Wambora as distinguished guests in the Parliament.
Allow me, in the usual parliamentary practice, to recognize part of the distinguished guests who are with us today. Seated in the Speaker's role, I wish to recognize His Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto, EGH, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya, the Honorable Lady Justice Martha Koome, CBS, the former Prime Minister, and the African Union's High Representative for Infrastructure Development in Africa,
the Right Honorable Raila women play a big role in shaping the society, and neglect and marginalization for women should be a thing of the past.
Former Vice Presidents of the Republic of Kenya, the Honorable Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, EGH, and the Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, EGH, and the Chairperson of the Council of Governors, who is also the Governor of Embu County, the Honorable Martin Wambora, EGH. Please join me, honorable members, in welcoming them to the National Assembly.
The President was invited by the Speaker of the National Assembly, Justin Muturi, as in the norm, with Senate Speaker Ken Lusaka, also making his address, noting that the Constitution requires the President to address this special sitting of the Parliament of Kenya once every year and any other time, concluding that the special sitting was therefore properly convened.
Once every year and any other time. Further, Article 1321C requires the President to inter alia report in an address to the nation all the measures taken and the progress achieved in the realization of the national values set out in Article 10 of the Constitution.
In his speech, Uhuru Kenyatta talked about his maiden journey into public service, noting that service is not all about position, but the ability to take actions.
Working together, bestowing upon me the high honor and extreme privilege of serving them as President in 2002. For the trust and faith that the great people of Kenya placed on me, I am and will forever be most grateful and internally humbled. Mr. Speaker, today I return to Parliament as President, and I am here to fulfill a constitutional imperative introduced into our political tradition and practice by the 2010 Constitution. In fact, I was indeed privileged to be the second president to be discharged this constitutional mandate when I first made my first
castigated
State of the Nation
opponents,
address
terming them
on the
rudderless
27th of
pacers
March,
in the
2014.
political scene ahead of 2022
The
elections.
Constitution at Article 132 mandates the President to report to a special joint sitting of both Houses of Parliament on measures taken and progress made in the realization of our national values as defined by Article 10 of our Constitution. I am also constitutionally obliged to report on the status of our fulfillment of the international obligations of the Republic and the state of our national security and the general state of the nation.
He said that he has had the opportunity to serve on both sides in the parliament divide, first as a nominated MP introduced into the chamber by ODM leader Raila Odinga and NC party leader Musalia Mudavadi.
Indeed, it is my distinct honor and high privilege to once again return to the chambers of Parliament to deliver my 8th State of the Nation address since my assumption of office as the 4th President of the Republic of Kenya on Tuesday, 9th of April, 2013. As always, it is a great pleasure to return to this august house where I have had the opportunity to serve on both sides of the parliamentary divide, indeed with many of you who are present here today. I first served as a nominated member of Parliament, introduced into this chamber by the Honorable Raila Odinga and the Honorable Musalia Mudavadi.
The head of state talked about the economic structure of the nation and the steady development the government has achieved despite COVID-19 pandemic that has brought businesses to their knees, leaving many businessmen fighting to keep customers, finding new ways to stay innovative and grow.
Specifically, I want to now put on record how the power of choice on the part of our administration, as supported by Parliament and indeed the county governments, turned the COVID-19 pandemic from a national crisis to what I believe is an intergenerational opportunity. Mr. Speakers, with the pandemic hit our country in March of 2020, we were quick to warn the nation that a crisis...
Deputy President William Ruto told off his political opponents from the opposition groupings who have been criticizing his presidential ambition and bottom-up economic model, which he says will move the country forward if elected as the 5th president of Kenya in the next year's elections.
Triumphant or indecisive out of fear and despair. In other words, a crisis is indeed all about choices. Those who choose danger and fear do not survive.
The Commander-in-Chief noted that for the first time, KRA has exceeded its revenue collection target despite the COVID stress over the economy.
Reporting
they projected 1.5 trillion shillings, collecting 1.67 trillion.
End of part 1. Interval.
Noting the health condition of the nation in regard to COVID-19, the president said that while a few battles have been won, the war against COVID-19 is not over and Kenyans cannot rest. He said that there is need to fight yet another variant of coronavirus, the Omicron variant, that is said to carry a higher risk of infection. President Uhuru also lauded Vital Healthcare EPZ Limited, which manufactures syringes and needles that have come in handy during the pandemic.
What is it then that we have learned from the COVID disaster? We have learned that our solutions must be homegrown. That is why we have commissioned the vaccine development project for disruptive viruses like COVID-19 to serve not only Kenya, but the region at large.
The head of state pointed out that today Kenya has 95 well-equipped laboratories compared to one when the COVID-19 hit the country. The president also said that as of today, 7.1 million Kenyans have been vaccinated, urging all adults to be vaccinated. Antonio Sundwa, Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
Thank you so much, Anthony. And still related to President Uhuru Kenyatta's speech, the head of state during his State of the Nation address highlighted the economic structure of the nation and the steady development his government has achieved despite COVID-19 pandemic that has brought businesses to their knees, leaving many businessmen fighting to keep customers and finding new ways to stay innovative and grow. Bushebi Jr. with that report.
President Uhuru Kenyatta on Tuesday issued a State of the Nation address at the Parliament building. Security was beefed up as red carpets were laid down on the road. Uhuru addressed a joint sitting of the Senate and the National Assembly.
Mr. Speaker, today I return to Parliament as President, and I am here to fulfill a constitutional imperative introduced into our political tradition and practice by the 2010 Constitution.
Uhuru stated that his administration had multiplied Kenya's GDP, noting that in 2013, Kenya was 12th wealthiest country with a GDP of 4.74 trillion shillings, and in just 8 years, lauding his administration for the multiplied GDP to 11 trillion Kenyan shillings.
Ours was a quest to lay down tarmac not for statistical purposes only. We realized that roads are literally the path to development, and that every inch of tarmac we lay, we are accelerating businesses, creating the foundation for greater individual and national prosperity. We did it for you, the Kenyan people, to tear down the barriers that hold back every citizen from making their individual contributions to nation building. Take as an example the 27-kilometer Nairobi Expressway. Once completed next year, it will take 24 minutes to drive from Mlolongo in Machakos County to Rironi in Kiambu County. Currently, this journey takes 3 hours, which is the equivalent of flying to Addis Ababa and back to Kenya.
He added that Kenya is now ranked the 6th wealthiest nation on the continent from 12th wealthiest nation in Africa. Uhuru reiterated that his government's endeavor to uplift the health sector has seen the rise in construction of hospitals and the universal health coverage program that has seen Kenya being ranked the 3rd most improved in health in Africa. The head of state stated that the Kenya Meat Commission is currently making 1 million shillings from 8,000 100,000 shillings daily since being militarized. He added that farmers are also paid in 72 hours from the 4 years that it used to take in the past. Uhuru defended the move to involve the military in state corporations because of their leadership and discipline. The head of state also reminisced the rise and fall of Building Bridges initiative, saying that many Kenyans wanted a constitutional change in form of BBI, but a few individuals sat down in a back room and decided otherwise.
And as I have said before, our country has been in a constitutional moment since 2017. The only question is, what should we do with this constitutional moment? If we do not embrace it, how will it return to punish our nation? And if we embrace it, who are the winners and losers of that moment? That, honorable members, is the question before us today. The parliamentary record as well as history reflects that during this reporting period, my administration did attempt to resolve the constitutional dilemma facing our country. We went to the people, and 5 million Kenyans agreed to initiate the process of putting the First Amendment to the 2010 Constitution to a vote. The First Amendment, honorable members, was thereafter taken to county assemblies, where it received nearly unanimous endorsement. In this august parliament, the people's elected representative gave the first mandate a clear nod of approval by a margin in excess of 2/3. If indeed, and I speak to those that need to listen to this, if indeed Article 1 of the 2010 Constitution states that all sovereign power rests in the people of Kenya and can be exercised either directly or through their representatives, the people made their voices heard with regard to the First Amendment. They exercised this power directly through the IEBC petition for constitutional change. They made this petition indirectly through the county assemblies and parliament, and the record of parliament attests to the fact that the people of Kenya wanted a constitutional change, but a few individuals sat down in a back room and they decided otherwise.
Uhuru lauded KRA for exceeding their limit and collecting tax beyond the set target. A big boost to Kenyans came when the initiative was directed by the President to the Central Bank of Kenya to review the 1 million shillings withdrawal threshold to allow firms and individuals to expand their businesses. President Uhuru Kenyatta also underlined that despite the pandemic, Kenya's economy grew by 0.3% in the first quarter of 2021. Real GDP recorded a phenomenal of 10.1% growth in the second quarter of the year. For Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, I'm Bujhabi Jr.
Thank you all, and may God bless you, and may God bless, preserve, and protect the Republic of Kenya and her people. And now, therefore, I hand over the reports to the Speaker of the Senate and the Speaker of the National Assembly in that order. Asanteni sana.
And now, away from that, Bungoma Deputy Governor Ngome Kibanani and CECM Roads Infrastructure and Public Works Engineer Muhongo Collins have decamped from Ford Kenya to UDA. Ngome has declared the interest to vie for Bungoma senatorial seat. Earlier, Ngome had blamed Wetangula for the underdevelopment in the region, saying it was a high time he is voted out of the party. Through his Twitter handle, Deputy President William Ruto stated that the two have boldly committed to support the Hustler Nation and walk with them to the transformation journey of the country through the revolutionary bottom-up economic model. Professor Ngome is seeking to unseat Bungoma Senator Moses Wetangula. Present at the event were Bumula MP Mwambu Mabonga, Mount Elgon MP Honorable Fred Kapondi, and his Sirisia counterpart Honorable John Koi Waluke. 5 high school students are staring at possible life in prison after they were arrested in connection to a fire at the Masani Girls Secondary School. This is as the National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse, NACADA, is now apportioning blame to social media and drugs and substance abuse for the spread in cases of schools unrest in the country.
Findings za survey hizo zinaonyesha kwamba kuna shida kubwa katika mashule yetu. Hata mashule ambayo yanachomwa sasa, madawa yako katika center ya shida hiyo. Kwa hivyo ndio nataka kusema kwamba sisi tunajua kuna shida kwa mashule na tumezungumzia hii shida kwa watu wetu, wanajua, tumewapa statistics vile preferences ya madawa iko katika mashule yetu. Sasa zingine watoto wamepatikana kutokana na kuingia kwa social media, wanajisoesha jinsi ya kutumia madawa nyingine ambayo hata sisi hatujajua. Ndio hata juzi tumefanya survey ya emerging drugs in the country, and you can be shocked how innovative people have become kwa kutafuta ama kwa kuchanganya vitu fulani na kuwa na madawa ya kulevya, analewa zaidi ya heroin. Tunaita school based program ambao tunahusisha tuna sensitize wanafunzi wa mashule, alafu tuna sensitize walimu ili kujua kwamba kuna mbinu ambazo wanaweza kutumia kujua kuna shida ya madawa katika mashule yetu, na tunawapa zile skills sasa kuweza kurespond to that kind of challenge in the institutions. Tumetengeneza national guidelines ambazo sasa zinaenezwa kwa mashule ili kuwasaidia kujua jinsi ya kurespond ukiwa na shida ya madawa katika mashule yao. And I want to urge Kenyans to take steps through their parent associations, through their participation in the boards, and as parents. Positive parenting is very, very critical in the prevention of drug abuse in our community.
Well, I'm taking a short break. I'll be right in a few with more news. Stay tuned.
To the coast of the nation, education is key, and we are here as solid partners to the growth of academics and career building in the nation. It is all here on your fastest growing TV station, Maisha TV, where you choose it, watch it, and love it.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Is live at Hannesburg.
Barcelona is live from Damascus.
We're on the doorstep.
For Maisha TV, for Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
For Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
Trusted news, trusted sources, trusted dissemination of information.
Check by all available means our territory.
Parliament must be careful.
Maisha Prime News, Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. Trusted, unbiased, authoritative.
Heshima Awards.
Heshima Awards inakupa fursa ya kujishindia tuzo la heshima mwaka huu 2021. Ili kushiriki, jaza fomu kwa urahisi sana katika kila kitengo katika tovuti la www.heshimaawards.co.ke au tembelea kurasa zetu kwenye mitandao ya kijamii Heshima Awards. Pia tazama runinga Maisha kwa maelezo ya moja kwa moja. Tuzo la heshima linawatuza mabingwa katika kaunti 8 zikiwemo Kakamega, Busia, Vihiga, Bungoma, Siaya, Trans Nzoia, West Pokot na Nandi. Heshima Awards ni kwa ajili ya kuwatuza Business of the Year, Best Learning Institution, Leadership Award, Best Musician, Media Personality, Influencer of the Year, miongoni mwa vitengo vingine. Kwa maelezo zaidi, piga simu kwa nambari 0746999841 au tembelea tovuti www.heshimaawards.co.ke na www.maishatv.co.ke. Heshima Awards, simama uheshimiwe.
Simama uheshimiwe, yeah, yeah.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with me on Maisha Prime News. And moving on, today in our education segment, we move all the way to Namamba Girls Secondary School, which is in Matungu constituency in Kakamega County. If you're planning for a year, sow rice. If you're planning for a decade, plant trees. But if you're planning for a lifetime, educate people. There are many ways you can make an impact on the world, but there is no greater impact that you can make than spreading education and empowering people who will empower and teach people, who in turn will empower and teach even more. That is exactly what Namamba Girls Secondary School, which is situated in Matungu constituency of Kakamega County, is determined to achieve under the leadership of Mrs. Susie Masava, the school principal.
My name is Susie Makonjo Masava. I'm the principal of Namamba Girls. Namamba Girls is a school that we started in 2016. This was initiated by the principal of Namamba Boys, the late Mr. Were. The school is situated in Matungu sub-county and it's 5 kilometers on your left here, on your right hand, on the Mumiasi Bungoma road.
With the push to empower the girl child, the community found a need to start a girls' school in the region, hence the existence of Namamba Girls Secondary School since the year of 2016.
So as we started the school, we started with 100 girls, and they were both boarders and the scholars.
As narrated by the school principal, the school performed excellently in the 2 national exams they have sat for in 2019 and 2020.
So we sat for our first exams in 2019 and we managed to get a mean of 4.5. As a start, that was a big achievement. And actually the 5 girls we took to the university had quality grades. 1 had a B+, 2 had B's, and 2 had B-. And we thank God for a good start. Namamba Girls is actually a school that was started by the community because they wanted education for the girl child. As a school, we sat for the second exam in 2020 with 76 candidates, and actually we had a mean of 4.6. We also thank God because that was a big number. We didn't expect that from the number. But I want to thank the teachers who worked tirelessly, the support staff who supported us, and the administration. We worked together and got those good results.
With the candidature of 49 girls in the year 2021, Namamba Girls targets a mean of 6.00 in the upcoming national exams. The principal has appreciated a number of stakeholders, among them Namamba Boys community and Matungu constituency, for the support offered to the institution.
So there are a few people that I must thank because of this school. Number one, I want to thank the Namamba Boys community to have allowed us to start a girls' school next to them. Actually, they are the ones who gave birth to Namamba Girls. My special thanks also goes to the county government. The county government supported us greatly to start this school, and they've continued supporting us by even paying fee for some of the students. I want also to sincerely thank the community, especially the parents, to have given us the girls. Actually, we are here because of those girls. So parents, thank you very much to have given us those special daughters of yours whom we are bringing up in a rightful manner. So we mentor them both academically and morally, and we hope that when they join the society, actually they'll be the best girls so far. So my sincere thanks also goes to the support staff, because without them anyway, how would the girls be eating? We thank them so much. I also want in a special way to thank the BOM led by Professor Omoto Orato of Masinde Muliro University. He has been of a great help to us actually, and he has made this school to be where it is. My sincere thanks also goes to the teachers. The teachers of Namamba Girls are hard-working teachers. They are young, and we thank God for them. So far the school has 10 TSC teachers, and my special thanks is actually to the TSC that has given us and posted these teachers to Namamba Girls. I'll not forget to thank the deputy principal of Namamba Girls. The discipline that is there among the girls is because of her, Madam Coletta Mukwambo. Thank you very much for supporting me in my work. I also want to support the Matungu constituency for supporting us in one way or another. They constructed a class for us, and apart from that, there are a few students they pay fees for through the bursaries that they bring to school.
For Maisha Prime Maisha Television, I'm Rida Chebet Kering. An Orange Democratic Movement ODM has criticized the move by Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission IEBC to withdraw from the multi-agency team on election preparedness ahead of next year's general election. The party's Secretary General Edwin Sifuna faulted the poll body, saying the conduct of the much anticipated poll must be done in coordination with other government agencies to ensure efficiency. In the letter, Chebukati said involvement in the team will take away its independence, a move supported by Deputy President William Ruto and his allies, who had raised concerns about the judiciary's conduct. CJ Koome has, however, defended her involvement in the poll preparedness, saying she does not sit in the team charged with the core mandate of preparing the election. On Monday, Sifuna argued that IEBC is an independent body and therefore it should not be moved by complaints made by political parties out to interfere with its mandate, in an apparent reference to Ruto and his United Democratic Alliance Party UDA.
Nataka kusema jambo moja sasa, ya kwamba sisi kama ODM tunataka IEBC wafanye uchaguzi ya haki na ukweli. We want free, fair, credible, verifiable and accountable election. And we are telling Chebukati that we are watching you very keenly. Sisi usifikiri tumenyamaza, hatujui kitu gani inaendelea. We know what is going on and we know what is happening. Sisi tunataka, we are not interested na vitisho. Chama gani ameandika barua, chama gani hajaandika barua, that is none of our business. What we want as ODM is free, fair, credible, verifiable election. Nataka kuambia Chebukati ya kwamba hatujasahau vile ulibangle election yetu 2017. Vile tulienda Supreme Court ika-nullify hiyo election, na baada ya kunullify hiyo election, Supreme Court ikasema mabadiliko ifanyike ndani ya IEBC for the second repeat election. Na walikataa kufanya hiyo mabadiliko. Hatutaki kurudi kwa hiyo barabara. Hiyo barabara ndio maana handshake ilifanyika, so that this country can for once go away from electoral violence. For once this country can have free and fair election.
As a debate on banning harmful pesticide on the market continues to brew, section of farmers in Uasin Gishu County have presented more than 12,000 public signatures in support of a petition to withdraw some of the harmful chemical pesticides from the market. This, even as some stakeholders argue that some pesticides are necessary to manage certain pests that thrive in Kenya and other countries.
These chemicals in soil, what happens is we kill the micronutrients in the soil, we destroy the biodiversity. A good number of these chemicals lock up the nutrients that is needed in our food.
As a legislator, this is my responsibility to ensure that we actually tighten the loopholes in our laws that are allowing these dangerous chemicals that have been banned in other countries to make their way to our country.
Hii kitu kama mbegu usipopiga dawa, hiyo armyworms inakula mbegu inamaliza yote. You will not harvest anything. So there is no way unaweza kosa kuitumia unless we develop a resistant seed yenye ita resist hiyo crop. Lakini wewe tuambia tuache kutumia na hakuna options, because that thing came from Cameroon all the way to here. Sasa we've inherited something that was not here. But initially we never used to use this pesticide. So it is forcing us to use them because we cannot produce without them.
We need to have tools. You know, we're in a different tropical environment where we don't have winters that, get rid of our pests.
And therefore, by just banning those products without doing a proper risk assessment, and it's not good, because it's going to bring Kenya down.
Do not think that we have a cursed land or we have a cursed climate. Or, it cannot be. The fact that we have a diversity of pests and diseases is the same way we have a diversity of solutions and natural remedies to the same pests and diseases. Nature balance.
A Kenya Defense Forces soldier has been convicted to 5.5 years imprisonment by a court-martial sitting at Langata Barracks after he was found guilty of engaging in recruitment malpractices. The officer was charged with obtaining close to 500,000 shillings on the promise of helping some Kenyans get into the military.
Nashukuru kwamba recruitment ilifanyika halali na imefanyika Kateliba. recruitment imekumbwa na ufisadi kiasi. Kuandikwa kwa jeshi kwa askari moja sehemu hili inaenda kwa shilingi 1500 ama 1600 700, na hiyo tunakemea.
Nataka niseme yale ambayo niliona kwa Sigora ya Pokot Central, kuna ufisadi kubwa ilionekana pale.
Wale wameandikwa wote ni watoto matajiri. Kuna cartels na tutatambua makartels kwa majina yao. Mkitaka tuwasaidie watu wa DCI hata EACC munipate niwaelezea hiyo cartel, hiyo chain ya makartel.
Kwa sababu wakati watu wanaajiriwa unakuta watu ambao hawajaonekana katika sehemu ile wanakuja na national IDs ambayo inasoma huko na wenyewe si wakazi wa huko.
Vile tumepigana na wizi wa ng'ombe, tutaelekeza sasa nguvu zetu tupigane na ufisadi ya wanajeshi wa Kenya.
Now let's get our daily feature, My Hustle, My Life, My Story by Anthony Osondwa.
Small and medium enterprises play a major role in economies, particularly in developing countries. They account for the majority of businesses worldwide and are important contributors to job creation and global economic development. In Bungoma town, Bungoma County, we met Robert Nyongesa, an SME who narrates on how he started his work as an electronic engineer despite being a pastor for the sake of stability in fighting with the economy.
Naitwa Robert Nyongesa Wanjala, ama Pastor Robert Nyongesa Wanjala. Duka hili liko hapa kwa street ya Mama Fanda, inapokabili opposite Green Hardware, inaelekea kwa stage. Na Mama Fanda ukifika pale utaona pale kwa kona imeandikwa Maraj Electronics. Iko pale, tunadili na aina zote za elektroniki ambazo zimeharibika, tuwatengeza, tuwarekebisha na iko sawa. Tunakugarantii, hatuna makomplaint mingi, tunakugarantii. Karibu sana. Hii biashara ya electronics nilianza 2002 na niliandikwa mahali opposite Sharif na mama mzee mmoja anaitwa Miruri, na nikafanya pale, nikakuja tukafanya na mzee Bushebi pale chini karibu na Keringet na Bushebi Junior pale chini. Kwa hivyo nikafika hapa mahali mnaona hapa. Hili ni duka kubwa katika Bungoma hii, na pia tuna repair kila kitu, tunafanya kila kitu.
He also narrates some of the challenges they normally go through as electronic engineers.
Although kazi nirudi chini kiasi, sababu tangu wakati wa corona si kama vile huko nyuma, lakini tunajitahidi kwa kufanya kazi. Kando na mimi pia kuwa mchungaji, ndio kazi inanilisha, maana sitakuwa mzigo kwa kanisa, ila pia inanipa mkate wa kila siku na kwa sababu ya biashara. Kwa hivyo ningelipenda tu pia niambie watazamaji wetu.
Robert urges the national government to put more power in such businesses through introduction of loans to boost them as small-scale traders.
Ya ombi langu ni kwamba kama county ama serikali kuu ingeweza kuweka nguvu sana upande wa watu ambao wana vipawa, hasa hizi za elektroniki, kiwakali na wapuni, hata wawe na miradi na mkopo ya kusaidia, ili kwamba hizi biashara mtu anapoenda juu anaseteremuka, anaweza inua, na hata aweze serikali peane hata kama ni mkopo bila riba.
He continues to urge every other SME to always be creative, come up with different new methods of working, and always work hard, away from trusting in God always.
Kwanza biashara lazima ujiamini, na kando na kujiamini unafanya uamuzi. Kwa wale wanaotutazama na wale ambao wanaanza, ni kwamba unapoingia sekta ya biashara, wewe kuna loss, kuna kupata faida, lakini wewe weka bidii. Unaweka tu bidii, na hasa wakati huu wa COVID, naomba tu watu wa create biashara, wa create business. Na kwa chochote usingoje uwe na pesa mingi, maana tunaanzia chini na tunaweza songa. Hasa wakati huu tusikae tunaweza proponi vitu mingi. Ujuzi, kazi ya ujuzi inalipa na inaweza kukupeleka mahali.
Anthony Sundwa, My Hustle, Maisha Prime News.
Well, thank you so much, Anthony, for that feature. And that's all we had for today, Maisha Prime News. My name is Rida Chebet Karing, and just to remind you to apply for Heshima Awards 2021 edition, visit the website www.heshimaawards.co.ke and follow the simple procedure. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.